Good morning, students. Today, Monday. How are you all? Hope you all are doing good and safe at home. I am your social science teacher in Vittal Matriculation School. Shall we start the session? Today, we are going to see about what is history. What is history? You know what? What it is called? History is nothing but a study of past events. Study of past events. What is history? Study of past events is called history. Today we are going to see about what are the learning objectives to know what history is all about. To know what history is all about. To understand the importance of history. To learn about the lifestyle of the prehistoric men. To know how paintings portray the daily activities of the prehistoric man. To understand the importance of history and historical researchers. Historical researchers. Today we are going to know about history and the importance of history to learn about the lifestyle of the prehistoric man. Shall we start the session? Yes? Are you all excited to know what history is? Yes. Imagine your friend name is Tamilini. Tamilini. Okay? Tamilini enters her house from school. From school. Her mother, who was reading a book. Who was reading a book? Her mother, who was reading a book, greets Tamilini with a hug. Greets Tamilini with a hug. She came back from school. Who came back from school? Tamilini came back from school. Her mother, who was reading the book, greets Tamilini with a hug. She collects her school bag. She represents her mother. Her mother collects her school bag and asks Tamilini to refresh herself. And ask Tamilini to refresh herself. When you all came back from school, your mother collects your bag, right? And asks you to refresh, wash your hands and face and refresh yourself. Okay? She gives Tamilini some snacks to eat. When she came back from school, she have to refresh herself and then she have to eat snacks. Okay? This is a hygiene thing. You all have to follow. She gives Tamilini some snacks to eat. She then asks Tamilini about the school activities of that day. Who asked Tamilini? Her mom. Tamilini's mother asked Tamilini about the school activities of the day. What you all doing today? How you spent your time in your school, like that she asked. Now we are going to see the discussion between Tamilini and her mother. Tamilini and her mother. Shall we start? Shall we start? Mother. Mother means Tamilini's mother said, Tamilini, what subject did you study today? What subject did you study today? She asked her daughter, which subject did you study today? Tamilini replies, History, ma. History, ma. History is in social science. Yes? Her mother replied, Oh, nice. Did you properly understand what history is? Did you properly understand what history is? Do you all understand what history is, my dears? You know what history? Let's see in this lesson. Okay, dears? Tamilini replied, Yeah, I understood something about history. What she telling? She understands something about history, which means she knows something about history. Can you please tell me about more about history? She already knows something, little bit only she knows about history, so that she asked her mother to tell more about history, to gain knowledge about history. What Tamilini said? Yeah, I understood something about history. Can you please tell me more about history? Here is one info bits. Okay, info bits is nothing but a general information. This is a general information telling the time in history. How they tell the time in history. Time in history is calculated in years. Time in history is calculated in years using BC. BC means before Christ. BCE means before Common Era. And AD means Anno Domini. CE means Common Era. Shall we repeat? Time in history is calculated in years using, this comes under 1 mark question. Okay, dears? So read carefully. BC means before Christ. BCE means before Common Era. And AD means Anno Domini. CE means Common Era. This is an example for BC, BCE. BC and BCE, here is a example. Here it is AD, CE. It is in the increasing order here. 500, 1000, 1500. Here it is in decreasing order. Here it is in increasing order. Right? Take a look on this diagram to know how they calculated the years before. Here it is a general knowledge question. It is your first 2 mark question. 7th Roman letter, first 2 mark question answer. Here and here. Okay. Shall we read? Do you know? History is the study of past events in chronological order. We know what history is. History is a study of past events. To know the past events, we need history. History is the study of past events in chronological order. What is history? History is the study of past events in chronological order. In which order? Chronological order. What is history? History is the study of past events in chronological order. Shall we continue the conversation between Tamilini and her mother? Yes. Shall we start? Her mother said, "What is your name?" Her daughter replied, "Tamilini." Her mother asked, "Tell me your mother's name." Tamilini replied, "Mrs. Sumati." What is her mother's name? Mrs. Sumati. Her mother asked, "Father's name?" Tamilini replied, "Mr. Adyaman." Mr. Adyaman. Her mother asked, "Tell me the name of your father's father," which means grandpa. Okay, tell me the name of your father's father. Tamilini replied, "You mean grandpa?" You mean grandpa? Mr. Chidambaram. Mr. Chidambaram. Her mother asked, "Do you know the name of great grandpa, Mr. Chidambaram's father?" My dears, do you all know your grandpa's father's name? Yes or no? You have to ask your mom or dad about your grandpa's father's name today. Okay, dears? Her mother asked, "Do you know the name of great grandpa, Mr. Chidambaram's father?" Tamilini replied, "Grandma always used to tell me about one great grandpa." You want that great grandpa's name, Amma? What she telling? She tell about her grandma used to tell about one great grandpa. Grandma, she is always telling about one great grandpa. You want that great grandpa's name, Amma? So she asked, she want her great grandpa's name. Okay. Here is one info bites. The term history has been derived from the Greek word historia. From the Greek word historia, which means learning by enquiry. Learning by enquiry. The term history has been derived from the Greek word historia, which means learning by enquiry. This is also your first 2-mark answer. 7th Roman letter, first 2-mark answer. From here to here is the first point. Here it is a second point. So this one and this one is a first question answer. 2-mark answer. The term historia has been derived from the Greek word historia, which means learning by enquiry. Learning by enquiry. What is history? What is history? History is the study of past events in chronological order. History is the study of past events in chronological order. Second point. The term history has been derived from the Greek word historia, which means learning by enquiry. The term history has been derived from the Greek word historia, which means learning by inquiry. Repeat after me, my dears. What is history? History is the study of past events in chronological order. Second point, the term history has been derived from the Greek word historia, which means learning by inquiry. Learning by inquiry. Shall we continue the conversation between mother and Tamilini? What she said last? Grandma always used to tell me about one great grandpa. You want that great grandpa's name, Amma? Her mother replied, yes. Your great grandpa's name is Mr. Ramasamy. Okay? What is her great grandpa's name? Your great grandpa's name is Mr. Ramasamy. Tamilini's great grandpa's name is Mr. Ramasamy. Often your father shows proudly a very old wooden pen and used to tell us that it was his grandpa's pen. Do you remember it? What her mother said? Tamilini's father shows proudly a very old wooden pen. Her Tamilini's father always show a wooden pen. Used to tell that was his grandpa's pen. Whose pen it is? It is her father's grandpa's pen. Do you remember it? She asked her daughter, do you remember it? Tamilini replied, yes, Amma. Normally he keeps it in the beautiful wooden case on his table. Where he kept that pen? Normally, her father keeps it in the beautiful wooden case on his table. Where he kept it in the beautiful wooden case on his table. Is that the one? Is that the one? Her mother replied, you are right. You are right, Tamilini. We cannot write with that pen now. But, what she tell? We cannot write with that pen now. But, father has kept it as a treasure. If you ask your father about that, he will show you the diary written by your great grandpa with that old pen. From the diary, we come to know that your great grandpa was a literate, while most of his villagers were illiterates. Literates means educated. Illiterates means uneducated. What is the meaning of literate? What is the meaning of literate? You all know now? Yes. Literate means educated. The meaning of a literate is educated. Illiterate means uneducated. What is the meaning of illiterates? What is the meaning of illiterates? Uneducated. Okay dears, you have to write this on your book. Okay. Further, we can understand the lifestyle of that period and also about activities from his diary writings. From his diary writings, what her mother said, "You are right, Tamilini." What she said, what Tamilini told was right. We cannot write with that pen now. We are not able to write with that pen. Which pen? That wooden pen used by her great grandpa. Okay. We are not write with that pen now, but father has kept it as a treasure. If you ask your father about that, he will show you the diary written by your great grandpa with that old pen. When you ask your father about that pen, what he replied? He showed the diary. What diary? Which was written by his great grandpa with that old pen. With that old pen. Old pen is old wooden pen. From that diary, we come to know that your great grandpa was literate. From that diary, they come to know that their great grandpa is educated. Grandpa was educated one. While most of his villages were illiterates. While most of his villages were uneducated. Further, we can understand the lifestyle of that period and also about activities from his diary writings. What she tell? Further, we can understand the lifestyle of that period. They come to know the lifestyle, how they live there, their culture, okay, their lifestyle, their attitude, characteristics, what they have done during that period. From by using that diary, which was written by Tamilini's great grandpa, and also about activities from his diary writings. From that diary, they came to know the lifestyle of that period and also about activities from his diary writings. What Tamilini replied? Tamilini replied, "Can this small diary record so much of news, Amma?" What she asked? Can this small diary record? What? It is a small diary only. Yes. So, it contains so much of news. So, it contains much more news about the early period. Amma, abdin she asked. Okay. Can this small diary record so much of news, Amma? Her mother replied, "Yes, Tamilini. We understand the period and lifestyles of people of old Stone Age from used stone tools like what you understand about your grandpa and his time from his diary writing." What her mother replied? Yes, Tamilini. We understand the period and lifestyles of peoples of old Stone Age from used stone tools like what you understand about your grandpa and his time from his diary writing. So what she tell is they came to know about the old Stone Age people and their lifestyles, their period, how they live their life using that diary. Which diary? Diary written by Tamilini's great grandpa. Okay dears, here is one example. Here is a diagram, a picture. Is it clear? In ancient period, the people lived in caves, used to draw paintings in rocks. What they do? In rocks, they used to draw. Today, nowadays, we all are draw in a paper, right? In the ancient period, the people lived in caves, used to draw paintings in rocks. They draw in rocks. These are the rocks. Example for rocks. They draw in rocks called rock painting. It is called as rock painting. They may have wished to record their activities through these paintings. What they did? They may have wished to record their activities through these paintings. They wanted to record their activities. How her grandpa record the lifestyles of people in diary. Likewise, the people in ancient period used to draw the paintings in rocks to record the activities what they have did. Okay, dears. Today we are in the end of the session. Your homework is, what is history? What is history? Here is a first point. Here is a second point. Okay? And also, your homework is, you have to know and write your great grandpa's name. Okay? You have to write your great grandpa's name. Okay, dears? This is the first homework. And second activity is, you have to write your great grandpa's name and send it in our group. I am excited to see all your answers. And also, students, those who have not paid your school fees, kindly pay in our school and get your books immediately. Okay, dears? I am expecting all your homeworks in our group. Thank you.